Christine from Langlangbuana University. To begin the public lecture for today, let us pray for a while in our heart. Pray begin. Finish. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable speaker for today in our public lecture, Marketing in the Multiverse. Welcome remarks conducted by Prof. Christine. Please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, so Honorable Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of Beda University, Dr. Edra Lim and Dr. Lim, and also all the participants here. I would like to express my gratitude to the University of Beda for the collaboration and the opportunity given to our students to get the public lecture from the expert from Beda University. I think the thing is very interesting and actual thing. So maybe multiverse theory suggests that our universe may not be the only one. Maybe here are different universes and distantly separated from ours. So here, maybe it could be that our universe is just a member of the infinity of universes, maybe like this. So we have also the term multiverse, yeah, or metaverse, which maybe it's the new platform of marketing in the future. I think Dr. Donald Lim can explain us more about this multiverse in marketing and also about the metaverse, and we understand. So enjoy the presentation of Dr. Donald Lim. Thank you, Dr. Lim. You accepted our invitation. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. And please enjoy the presentation. Please, Mr. Tudi.
Yeah, and now we proceed to the next session. It's introduction of the speaker conducted by Dr. Edra. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce our speaker this afternoon. Dr. Donald Patrick Lim is the Chief Operating Officer of DITO CME and the Chief Innovation Officer of the UDENA Corporation. Prior to his current role, he has served in various leadership capacities in the media, advertising, and digital spaces, having been the country CEO of Dentsu Aegis Philippines, Chief Digital Officer of ABS-CBN Corporation, Managing Director of MRM Manila, and CEO of Yehey Corporation and Media Contacts Manila. Dr. Lim earned his degree in management from Ateneo de Manila University and with distinction from the University of Murdoch, and his doctor in business administration from the University of Phoenix. More recently, he finished his second master's, a master in public management from the Ateneo School of Government. Apart from this, Professor Lim also had a diploma in interior decorating, a diploma in executive management, and a diploma in hotel and restaurant management. Currently, Dr. Donald teaches advanced marketing and advanced strategic management in the doctoral program of Beda University and has taught e-marketing at the Graduate School of De La Salle University and the IMC program at the University of the Asia and the Pacific. He was also an adjunct professor at the Asian Institute of Management and Bradford University. Aside from his full-time job, now with UDENA, he oversees 12 other businesses of his own and also does management consulting for up-and-coming brands and businesses. Dr. Lim is one of the only 24 certified professional marketers in the Philippines and one of the first in the Philippines to be awarded the Certified Entrepreneur title by the Canadian Institute of Entrepreneurship. He used to sit as part of the technical panel of the Commission on Higher Education and also had been awarded the Dr. Benvenido R. Tantoco Senior Professorial Chair in Marketing by Jose Rizal University. Considered one of the founding fathers of digital marketing in the Philippines, Dr. Lim has been awarded by various institutions and organizations. His most recent being awarded the Outstanding Young Men Award for Community Building in Digital Marketing. He is the first awardee of the Agora Award for Marketing Communications by the Philippine Marketing Association, a 2015 Young Global Leader conferred by the World Economic Forum, and the only Filipino to receive the DMN 40 and Under 40 Award in New York. On top of this, he was conferred Digital Marketer of the Year at the Asian Leadership Awards in Dubai. The Young Market Masters Award in Online Marketing by Matt Smith and Fielders, the first recipient of the Digital Leader of the Future Award conferred at the World Brand Conference. My dear faculty and students, I have now the honor to give you Dr. Donald Lim to lecture on the topic, Marketing in the Multiverse.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Edralyn, for that kind introduction. As you know, Dr. Edralyn here is everyone's professor and teacher. Even the professors, we all learn from him. Thank you to my colleagues in Indonesia. It's very good to be with you, with all of you, with this crowd. No? My favorite place, of course, is still Bali. Been there for many times over, no? And still can't forget that place. Very memorable for me. My topic this afternoon is marketing the metaverse. So I know some of you are you're interjecting, your metaverse and the multiverse, and later on I'll explain the difference between the two because they're totally different. No? So my topic is really more marketing on the metaverse. I now do note that I come from what is called Web 2. I'm an entrepreneur and a marketing person. I'm by no means a digital expert nor a tech expert, which means to the IT guys there, I may not speak your language. For me, what is important is that given all of these new technologies, what is more important for me is how do I get to apply it in my day-to-day business. And my attempt here is that now that I've seen that the metaverse is gaining popular ground, I'm attempting to understand this space and find and discover opportunities so that I can use them in my business, or that I can use them in my consultancy sessions. I can also teach that to my students. And having said that, I hope you bear with me. I may go a bit into and understand, because I'm sure most of you don't understand what the metaverse is. I will explain that, and then later on I will show you lots and lots of use cases. Okay, so since I'm talking in the afternoon, I'll also interjected some videos so that it won't be too boring for you or too technical. So I hope you don't mind. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to place it on the chat. So that I have time to digest those questions. And if there are some questions that I can answer immediately, I will do that. So let's treat this maybe not too formal. No? Feel free to also interject and also give your inputs as I go along. No, that's perfectly fine for me. Okay. So let's talk about the multiverse. No? So if you look at the history of the multiverse, it started in 1978 when there's the very first multiplayer real-time virtual world. It's called MUD 1. No? Some of you may have not been born yet, no? But in fact, the multiverse spans very many years ago, no, decades ago, when people were saying that Earth, or Earth is not the only place, but there's this imaginary technology place, and the computers were just an idea at that time. No, the personal computer was just an idea at that time. But as the years progress, I'm sure you're familiar with Tron, which is one of the very first movies to imagine a digital reality. And in 1984, a novel came out called Neuromancer, no? And they popularized the term cyberspace that imagined billions of cyber users, which is today internet users. No? So all of us are technically cyber users. In 1984, they predicted that it would be all of us here. No? And the realities happened after 20 years. In 1992, another book came out called The Metaverse, and it was saying that it's a science fiction novel, no, that time, and which envisions a virtual reality-based successor to the internet. So in 1992, the metaverse was already, the concept of the metaverse was already introduced in a book. In 1999, I'm sure you're all somewhat born already. That's The Matrix, no, where a movie imagining humanity inside of virtual reality. In 2003, because the internet was starting to become more prevalent, no, that was the rise of what we call Second Life. I hope some of you, most of you here, have attempted to learn the Second Life or played Second Life. They're the first platform allowing users to live in a virtual world, and it surpassed 1 million monthly active users in 2007. In 2006, Roblox, a multiplayer game platform, surpassed 55 million daily active users, breaking lots of world records. So I know some of you may be a bit older. If you have kids that are around 5 to 10 or 12 years old, they would be actively playing Roblox today. Fast forward a decade, more than a decade after, Ready Player One is what they seem. If you've seen the movie, it's really a film that is imagining a full-fledged virtual world called the Oasis, no? And it was based on a book in 2011. That was, I think, the closest look to the metaverse. No, Ready Player One, that movie where you remember he was playing, but when he would wear his goggles, he would be transported immediately to the metaverse, to another world. In 2021, last year, no, during the height of the pandemic, Mark Zuckerberg came out and said, okay, I am renaming Facebook to Meta because that is the future. And he's aiming to create an entire metaverse ecosystem with investments of more than $10 billion. And the future of the metaverse would come with more and more use cases. And later on, I will show you a lot of marketing use cases that would abound given the metaverse. So what you will see here is that the evolution of digital interaction. In stage one, you will see that there's only the mainframe. That was in the 1960s to the give or take, 80s, right? Where you have massive computers in buildings and maybe some schools, or actually the first batch of users was really the military, right? And then stage two, most of us experience it already. That's where the PC would come in. It's now what you call personal computing. In the year 2000, the web became mainstream, and the web is now storing all the world's information and services. In stage four, when 2004, 2005, mobile became extremely prevalent because now it had access to the internet. So here you're seeing that one is built on top of the other, from the mainframes to the big CPUs that are as big as this room, to the PC, personal computing, to the web, and now mobile accessing the web. We are currently right now in stage 5, where the metaverse and Web 3.0 exists. It's embodied, it's part of the technology, it's immersive, meaning that all of us really go into, right? For example, before in Facebook, in social media, or in a website, it's very clear that you're here and the website is there. When you say immersive, you are technically inside the system already because of a device that helps you to be immersed, literally immersed into that platform. And again, it's very social, and later I'll discuss this, and it's persistent. And of course, in the near future, they call it already the spatial web, where information is about physical objects and systems. All of them, the Internet of Things, are now part of digital. So having said that, why is the metaverse so intriguing? Because if you look at all of us as human beings, we access media for information, for entertainment, for us to be engaged with our communities, to be social, to talk to people. And one of the things, no, and this is a Deloitte study, they saw that the top 3 most frequent activities on social media platforms. No? So we are a very social media country. Most of us, no, would be, when we go to social, we would be reading or watching news, listening to music, watching TV shows and movies, shop, play video games, and watch sports. Note that 10 years ago, when we say read or watch news, that would have been the TV, right? The television, or at least the radio. Listen to music would mean the radio, or at best, you would have a, I don't know, Walkman, right? If it's something that's very personal, no? And then, of course, later on, just a phone. Watching TV shows and movies, that would be the television screen and the cinema. When you shop, you have to literally go to shop, or at most, maybe you would go to eBay to shop. But what we're seeing now, if you look at all of these 6 media habits, you realize that more and more social is becoming very prevalent. You are now going to social media for news rather than just watching it on a TV screen. Our media habits are already changing. At the same time, younger generations are spending more time than they intended engaging with user-generated content. For some reason, the younger audiences, instead of watching what used to be, for example, in TV, where a broadcaster or a celebrity would be showing content there, they would rather have people, their friends, or anyone, no, something that's closer to their circle. That is the type of media or content that they would consume. So if you look at the Gen Z, they would end up spend more time watching user-generated content online than they plan to, versus the older segment. They spend more time viewing user-generated content online now compared with 6 months ago, and they spend more time watching user-generated video content online than TV shows and movies. So we're seeing that slowly, 10 years ago, when we're still not comfortable watching Netflix, or at most maybe we spend a few minutes on YouTube, the YouTube, Netflix, and all of these digital shows are now becoming mainstream for us, becoming natural for us. So having said that, most of the younger generations have also started playing games. I don't know some of you if you enjoyed playing games, but when they looked at the key cities that they have surveyed, again, this is from a Deloitte study, a big chunk of their population, especially the younger segment, are almost into gaming. Whether, of course, it is, I don't know what are the games you play there in Indonesia. I would assume that would be a bit of, if you're not a gamer, you still play a bit of Candy Crush, or when during the height of Plants vs. Zombies, among others. No? Today, most of the gamers would be playing Dota, Mobile Legends, Call of Duty, among others. So we're seeing that shift, but gaming is becoming a very strong part of culture and also of the lifestyle of the younger audiences. So we're seeing less and less eyeballs on television or just on radio, but more into the gaming segment. And that is very important because later on you will see the intersection between gaming and the metaverse and all of these, all of these technologies coming to fore. Why do people play games? Of course, when they ask the younger audiences or the gamers for that matter, why do you play games? Most would say that playing video games helps me relax. They are personalizing so it's a self-expression. My game character or avatar helps me express myself. Video games have helped me get through a difficult time. Playing video games help me stay connected to other people, among others. So here you are seeing that people are finding, in one of the need state of every human, there's what you call an escapist need. You escape from the real world. And this is a 1970. In fact, my dissertation was anchored on the uses and gratification theory. And it was saying that many times, because sometimes life is hard or there are many challenges in life, we would like to escape life. And sometimes media is the one that would carry us through rather than going to a friend or talking about it with someone else. So as a escape, before, without all of these games, you would try to put your heads busy and doing something else. Before, it would just be listening to music, right? Or just watching the TV or just going to a movie house and you would relax. The big difference here is that today, because of the prevalence of games and the number of choices of games, a lot of people have moved towards gaming. So to become their form of escape, to help them relax, to help them express themselves, and have helped them gone through a difficult time. Okay? So today, if you look at the metaverse, it is still a developing opportunity. Again, $55 million, well, no, 55 million daily active users on Roblox, $250 million daily trading volume of NFTs, $500 million Metaverse real estate sales, $10 billion invested by Meta or Facebook into the Metaverse development annually, 11 million XR headsets. No? So these are virtual reality headsets produced by Meta. And that's today, right? Or this year. In tomorrow, a few months from now, you will see more and more expanded sets of use cases, a very fully immersive environment. And I'll share with you a lot of cases. So I'll just have to finish the theory part first. Okay. The interoperability between both worlds, the enhanced concurrency, meaning all of you, everything is happening at the same time. Ubiquitous, so there are digital and physical overlays. So the digital physical is slowly becoming intertwined. And of course, as you go to the metaverse, you will need an AR, no, augmented reality or a virtual reality device proliferation. And you will see that those devices getting cheaper and cheaper as you have more access to various metaverses. Now, let me share with you one of a very interesting example. No, I don't know if any of you know Marshmello. Okay, so Marshmello has a very popular video. It's called Alone. I will play half of the video just for you to appreciate in the sound, and later on I will show you how he was able to generate a lot of following, not on YouTube anymore, but also on the metaverse. Please check. If you check your screen, Marshmello. Okay, Marshmello. This video alone has 2 billion views. Can you see it downstairs? It's uploaded in 2016. Has 2.3 billion views around the world. That's massive. If you're familiar with Gangnam Style, there was a big, big hula balloon, right? People were just saying, okay, 1 billion views, right? Size Gangnam Style. Right? And of course, that number has already been broken many times over by so many singers and entertainers, Marshmello being one of them. Okay? 2.3 billion views and going up. And he has released a lot of other music videos also. So look at Marshmello. This is the video, and I'll just cut it somewhere in half just for you to get a feel, so that then I will show you the metaverse execution. Right? And this again, this got very popular among the younger audiences. When the metaverse started to get a certain level of popularity in the younger audiences, what he did was launch himself in the metaverse also. And look at how his execution is. And this launch was really applauded because he was one of the first to have experimented launching in the metaverse. Same song. Now
Yo, what is up, Fortnite? What's up, Pleasant Park? My name is Marshmallow, and thank you for coming out today and making history with me. You guys ready? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Let me see everybody moving!
So now, what we did was inside Fortnite, which is a game, and also a metaverse, a community. Instead, people would be going to the concert, not as themselves, but as their characters. Right? So these are the different characters in Fortnite. Right? Some would be coming in as groups, and they're dancing to a concert. Right? So they're fully plugged in, and it's like they are attending a concert. And like in real life, the IRL in real life, right? But it's again inside a metaverse. Okay, so I hope you get the drift, no? And I'll show you more examples of that. So Fortnite is a game. I'm sure some of your friends may be playing. So it's like it's a shooter game, but at the same time there's a community. It's also something like a Roblox or a Sims. You get to interact with one another. And now what's happening is that Marshmallow. Initially, earlier, I shared with you a video that he created as a person, and now he has transported himself into the metaverse. And he can actually now do, of course, all of these concerts anytime, anywhere, and anyone around the world who is, this is Fortnite, can go to Fortnite. Fortnite is the name of the game, right? Can go in and watch the concert. No? So imagine a 2.3 billion views. No, you can imagine how many fans does Marshmallow have? So before, you will see that a lot of, I don't know, I used to be with one of the more popular TV station here, no, ABS-CBN. We would have a lot of our celebrities go to world tours, going around the world and doing tours. But now with the metaverse, any one of them, all of them can do their own tours, singing tours, dance tours here inside the metaverse. Now, so what again with the metaverse? What is the metaverse? It's a virtual immersion into the next generation of the internet. So remember, I said earlier, the metaverse is built on top of the internet. Without the internet, there's no metaverse. Okay, and the metaverse will be iterative, not any one size or shape. Before, when you create a website or Facebook, for example, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg creates the rules. In the metaverse, all of you who are in there can actually create on your own, right? You can create products, you can buy and sell, of course, in the physical space. So I can create and then I can put it in the metaverse, right? And I'll be able to sell it via cryptocurrency. And later on, I'll explain that. Okay? And these capabilities, this is what Brian Solis said, capabilities we have within it will all be unlocked by both open standards and the devices that we wear or that we use to interact in these worlds. So it's what you call an open standard. There are certain standards, but it's open. You can all create your characters, your whatever, how you want to look, how you want to interact from the real world going into the metaverse. And having said that, we're seeing that a lot of consumers are really excited about the transition of everyday activities to the metaverse. There's a preference for at least one activity in virtual world compared to the physical alternative. Most, you're seeing 60%, 59% prefer at least one activity virtually versus physically. And what are the drivers of excitement for consumers who prefer immersive virtual experiences over something similar in the physical space? Of course, it's connectivity with people, but they get to explore digital worlds and meet and collaborate with remote colleagues. And of course, later on, you will see they can even trade NFTs, non-fungible tokens, purchase and monetize real estate, among others. I will explain a bit about NFTs later on. Okay. And what are the top 5 activities most preferred in an immersive world? Shopping, very interesting. So from shopping in an e-commerce site like an Amazon, right? Or a Shopee or even a Lazada. Now, they are now going into the metaverse. And later on, I'll show you a snapshot of what purchasing, shopping would be like in the metaverse. Social, attending virtual events and games. Fitness, later I'll show you an example of fitness, of VR, virtual reality exercises. Dating, going on a date. So you don't have to be scared anymore if you have a blind date and you don't know how it looks. You can even do it safely in the metaverse. And of course, education, classes and learning events can also now be done there. Of course, at the same time, trade has to happen. Trade is essential for any universe or the metaverse to exist. And 79% of consumers active on the metaverse had made the purchase. For me personally, in my spare time, when I get to play a bit of games, I actually buy a lot. Well, my daughter also, who's 10-year-old, also buys a lot on the metaverse. Especially in Roblox. I play my own games and I also buy a lot. So purchasing the metaverse, a lot of in-game purchases, credits, tokens, gems, whatever you call it, right? Virtual cosmetic items, real-world items sometimes, right? And others would be NFT and virtual real estate. And why would you buy? Because you want to improve your in-game experience, you get special access, like gain benefits in games, or you can acquire an asset. For me, I buy because I need to speed up or because I don't have time to really play, spend a lot of hours. So sometimes if I'm impatient, I would just pay to speed things up, especially if I have a task to accomplish in a particular game. And what is interesting is that by 2030, the metaverse could generate 4 trillion to 5 trillion across consumers and enterprise use cases. Now, I really don't want to, 3, 4, 5 trillion doesn't mean anything. But what is more important is for you to look at in 2022, there you see a 0.2 to 0.3 trillion. In 8 years, so by 2030, in 8 years, it will not even grow by 10x. It will grow by 20x, 20 times, right? 20 times the number of what it is. So you will see that once the metaverse becomes very prevalent, and you're not talking far future, guys. You're talking about 2024, 2025. It's going to be a big metaverse, a new world that's going to happen. And every brand, every company will now be going there. I remember one of my counterparts in Unilever here in the Philippines. So he was until 2019. So we were friends for like almost 10 years already. The head of digital. So because I used to be a chief digital officer of a media network. So we're like, there's a digital group here. And one of the heads of Unilever, in fact, the #1 advertiser. So imagine how powerful he is here. In the marketing and advertising space. He had to change his title. He's not a digital person. He's not a digital officer anymore. He calls himself the Metaverse officer. So we're seeing that even a Unilever, right, which is the world's #1 top cosmetics and FMCG, fast-moving consumer good brand, is slowly shifting to the Metaverse. And they are actually discussing and creating a lot of use cases inside the metaverse. And later on, I'll show you more of those. But again, you will see the growth in a span of 8 years is going to be 20 times, right? And you will see trickles of that, especially and that's why, when I was told I'm speaking to graduate school students, I think it's very important for you to learn from this, because later on the advice that you will be giving, whether professionally in your corporate career or if you're doing consulting, will be anchored a lot on this. So again, metaverse, I know you may not have, maybe some of you may still be grasping, right? Grasping on, ano ba talaga? What is a metaverse? I will share with you the founder of not the founder, the author of the book, The Metaverse. Okay, the author of the book. I was looking at a lot of videos and I find him to be one of the best person to really explain what the metaverse is. Okay, so allow me to share this video. I'll cut it also. Somewhere at the first half or first 1/4, just to give you an appreciation, right? Appreciation of, in his own words, right? The author of the metaverse, what the metaverse is.
The metaverse is coming. There's no turning around. We're going to go there. Most forecasts believe that the metaverse by the end of the decade will be between $6 and $13 trillion. There's confusion and/or disagreement as to exactly what it is, what it requires, when it arrives. I think many people have heard the term metaverse over the past year with the idea that society is going to transform. The metaverse is not an all-encompassing, clear vision of the future. It is an ambition. It's a hypothesis. At its core, the metaverse should be understood as a fourth wave of computing and networking. The first was the mainframe era. Most of us think about IBM supercomputers. That was succeeded by personal computing, and the internet succeeded in turn by the mobile and cloud era. But we as a society, as people, Homo sapiens, did not evolve for thousands of years to interact with 2D interfaces. We didn't evolve to learn by tapping a piece of glass. That arc leaves many to believe that the next evolution is 3D experiences. My name is Matthew Ball. I'm the CEO and founder of Apillion. I'm also the author of The Metaverse and How It Will Revolutionize Everything. It's sometimes helpful to explain what the metaverse is not. First, it's not just immersive virtual reality, or what many consider a virtual reality headset. It's also not a video game. We see now hundreds of millions of people spending their lives, their friendships, inside 3D rendered social and virtual worlds. But of course, the metaverse is a combination of many different technologies, and it is not just for a game. It will not replace the internet, it will build iteratively on top of it. But it's not fully predictable, much like there was no technical understanding in 1995 that told you exactly what life would be right now on the internet. Facebook, or now Meta, was born of the PC era and became far more valuable and successful in the mobile era. The reason for this is recursive technology. Someone invents a new technology, and that new technology is responded to by consumers and developers who build new things or use that technology in ways that are predicted and not predicted. I define the metaverse as a massively scaled and interoperable network of real-time rendered 3D virtual worlds, which can be experienced synchronously and persistently by an effectively unlimited number of users, each with an individual sense of presence, while supporting continuity of data such as history, identity, communications, payments, entitlements, and objects. Should I redo that?
Okay, so let's review
The metaverse.
Matthew Ball said. The metaverse, 10 basic components of the metaverse. Massively scaled. Everyone, it's massive. Like around the world, everyone around the world would be able to access it. Interoperable network. Right? Interoperable means that what you applied in one can be applied to the other. For example, if you take a picture, on your mobile phone, right? So you have an image. That image, you can transfer it to your computer. You can now put it as part of your PowerPoint presentation, right? Interoperability. So the backend has to allow a certain level, right, of communication between various platforms and hardwares. Third is that it's real-time rendered. So anyone who's doing it, all of us inside the metaverse, we're all doing our own thing, and that's okay. Real-time, something is happening. Okay, it's 3D, so that it's not like when you watch a cartoon, right? Inside the metaverse, when you wear your, if it's a real metaverse, when you go in, you will see people walking, and they have a back, they have a center, and they're not flat in a way, right? It's a virtual world. So again, literally, it's a virtual world. It's not physical, right? But it's literally a virtual world where you go in and you have to leave the physical space. It's synchronous, so everything is happening at the same time. So even if you leave, something is happening inside and you cannot control it. So it's not like your regular game that, you know, an online game that you're playing, and if you leave, then the game stops. That's not synchronous, no. So everything is happening at the same time. Persistent is that it's happening through and through, right? And it's not again like aligned to synchronous. It's not it doesn't stop because the user stops moving. There are a lot of unlimited users, so which means that it's open enough for anyone to go in and out, no? And there's an individual sense of presence because everyone is different. So when you go in, people can really feel you, no? It's what you call your twin, right? Your twin is there. And there's continuity of data. So when you put that in, right, whatever you do there is already part of the history of that metaverse. Okay? So again, this is I think someone sent the YouTube link for this. Now you can watch the entire video, but it's very fascinating how we explain the 10 principles. So again, in a nutshell, the core attributes of the metaverse, again, it's persistent. It never pauses or ends. It just continues indefinitely. It's open participation. Everyone can be a part of it. No gatekeeping. You cannot say, okay, you cannot come in, right? So once you register, you are in. There's also what you call a value economy. There's a sense of value or a currency that has to exist. So there could be trading of value of goods, of digital assets within the metaverse. And there's duality, which means it spans both the digital and the physical world. So while you are doing something on the metaverse, the physical person has to exist. And later on, I think maybe in law and in other sciences, you will decide, right? We have to cross one of the biggest questions of the metaverse. If a live person dies, and does the metaverse version, does the digital twin still remains? Same also with a Facebook account, right? So if a person were to move on in life, is the Facebook account live and active? And it's still, of course, it's not anymore. No one will be posting, right? But in the metaverse, that person still exists, right? So those are some of the questions that have yet to be answered. And then, of course, I discussed interoperability. It allows transfers of assets across the different worlds. So even, for example, if you are a Roblox player, you can move from one server to the other, right? One place to the next, but you can carry whatever you're wearing. That's it, right? You move from one place to the other, right? And those different servers, the creators of those who have integrated themselves into Roblox, would mean that they would accept that kind of change, move from one to the other. And finally, active contribution. So any creator can build and expand that kind of a universe. So having said that, a lot of companies today, a lot of corporations, metaverse adopters are looking for varied set of capabilities, including content creation, corporate strategy, and cybersecurity. So this was a question that was asked to executives, and they're saying, what are the top 5 capabilities that your company needs most in order to deliver your metaverse strategy? Of course, the first is it's business building. What business can you create? That's again the obvious answer to that, right? Hopefully they are able to build a business on top of the metaverse. Second, of course, maybe they can create a product that can be sold inside, or they would also look at the infrastructure, the backend engineering that needs to be done. Later on, of course, the most prominent and most popular is really the open finance, blockchain, commerce, payments. And of course, there are others would be product design, legal, risk and compliance, very important, cybersecurity, very important, analytics, and content creation. And later on, we'll go through a bit of some of these also as we go deeper into the metaverse. What are the top 3 metaverse technologies? What do you consider top 3 metaverse technologies for businesses in the future? Of course, cryptocurrency, all of us will be affected, whether we do B2B or even B2C. You would have to allow a certain level of cryptocurrency exchange between you and your customers or your client. Artificial intelligence means that you have to have an AI, I don't like saying AI strategy, but you have to understand how to use AI so that the technology that you create will be able to learn on its own, right? Like you apply machine learning and it would be able to create more value without you coming in and teaching the machine or teaching your software or your technology, right? And then finally, AR, VR, they're the top 3. AR, VR means that you have to allow augmented reality and virtual reality, especially when someone puts in a goggles, how will you project your brand inside? So I will show you now a lot of executions that would happen here. But the metaverse is not new. In fact, if you look at Seoul, in Korea, they're the world's first city government to join. So on November 3, the capital city of South Korea has announced its plan of making public services and cultural events accessible through the metaverse. And once successful, residents of the city can visit their virtual city hall for all their needs. And from touring historic sites to filing civil complaints, everything will be easier. So that's what the mayor's 10-year plan for Seoul. And having the city in the metaverse will increase social mobility for citizens and increase the city's competition. And also, the movie is also tapping into Digital New Deal, the nation's plan for embracing AI and digital tools. So before, I don't know in Indonesia if you need to, for example, file something, whether it's a permit or if it's going to be a complaint or any legal paperwork, if it's 100% online already. What Sol is doing is that it's not even web already, web 2, right? They go to web 3, which means you have to be part of you're now an avatar. The system recognizes your avatar as your individual person, right, in the physical world, and now you can actually file there. What is good about this, do note now, what is good about this is that most of, for example, your civil registry, your birth certificate or residence certificate or land title is now part of the blockchain, and they can immediately issue that without having to go through a central server. So it becomes very efficient, and you can get whatever you want very, very quickly. No? So okay, I'll answer the question later. Thank you. And then another, this is about education, right? So how do you think the education will change in the metaverse?
The future of education is global, combining the physical and virtual space in innovative virtual campuses. Top universities worldwide are beginning to offer immersive education, featuring interactive courses with instructors, virtual job fairs for students, and admissions meetings with parents. Education is evolving, and to make it more accessible, the World Bank wants to create an international virtual campus for colleges of the Eastern Caribbean. Supported by the Korea World Bank Partnership Facility, this virtual campus will forge synergies, networks, and collaboration amongst students, teachers, and institutions. Inside a virtual campus, the possibilities are limitless. Eastern Caribbean colleges, join us in building the future of education together.
You will see now that the future of schools will be something like this. So before, I'm sure you've seen a part of Zoom where you can really make it like a classroom, look like a classroom. But later on, anywhere the student will be, or even anywhere where the teacher will be, you can really assemble it something like this. So once you wear your goggles, you will you look left and you look right, and you will really feel that you are in this auditorium, right? Before, like today, right? We're on Zoom, but you don't feel like you're in an auditorium. The difference of the metaverse is that once you wear your goggles and you go in, you actually feel that you are really part. No, you're really part of that world. And that goes the same with workplace meetings. So we're in the workplace. We've all been very familiar now with Zoom meetings, Google meetings, among others. But later on, the workplace meetings. No? So before, you're seeing that we used to have a bigger, a clunkier VR glasses, virtual reality glasses. But 2 weeks ago, I had a friend coming from Malaysia. He was sharing to me that the next level of virtual reality would really just look like an eyeglass. So once you wear that eyeglass, right, you will be able to, of course, it's Wi-Fi ready. You can just charge it at night, and when you go out, you will be able to really go virtually. Wearing this eyeglass, you can move already into the metaverse, so very quickly. So here, for example, is that instead of doing a Zoom meeting, you can actually do before, right? Remember when you say work from home, you have a Zoom meeting at home, or you do face-to-face, right? Is it online or is it face-to-face? Now, you don't even know what it's called, right? When you do a metaverse meeting, you're literally face-to-face with one another, but it's still purely online. Okay, so it's a gray area, right? It's an in-between. It's because it's literally you're face-to-face with one another already. However, everything is digital, and you're conducting that meeting like you are in the office. Okay, so that's and again, this technology is not very far off. You might see, because all of us have been forced to adapt to Zoom, right? In the past 2 years when COVID was here. Moving forward, you will see in the next 2 years more and more of these happening. And all of us, instead of looking for a laptop where you can have a Zoom meeting, you will just have to go in and use your VR eyeglasses, right? So instead of laptop, go in Zoom, you just wear your VR glasses, you just click, and then you're now part of that metaverse meeting. Okay, so again, something that you can look forward to in our lifetime, definitely in our lifetime, right? So we're talking about 2-3 years down the line. all of these technologies, no, are coming already. Earlier, Matthew Bell was saying, that even VR is very much prevalent already in fitness. So, for example, in spinning, instead of before, when you well today, if you're spinning, right, you're riding the stationary bike, you just listen to music and you focus, right? But now when you wear the VR device, you can see people who are with you, everyone around the world who's spinning with you or riding the stationary bike with you, and you will see your heartbeat, you will see, and you can even choose what you want to watch inside that VR glass. Same also if you're boxing, you can even box at home, but in a way, and again, this is already a bit like a Nintendo Wii already, right? Nintendo Wii, like you hold two devices, you can play boxing. So now you move that, you push the envelope towards that, and you can actually go anywhere, and you can practice your boxing even with a opponent, right? So when you're playing with an opponent, you can you're not boxing on air already. So that's virtual reality. But at the same time, you are in the metaverse, and you are doing your exercise. You are doing your exercise here. One of the key opportunities actually with the exercise, I was doing research, and they have what we call a cardio, which is a move to earn and a play to earn. So they created what is called a meta bike. So it's a bridge between real world fitness and metaverse activity. What happens is that when you buy this bike, you actually would have to do your exercises. You will be able to see on screen, like you are chasing a car or chasing a dog, whatever you get to choose. But at the same time, what is good about this is that because it is connected to the internet and connected to the blockchain, you actually earn points. So depending on the kilometers that you have biked, that's why they said, it's a play to earn, or what they call play to earn, or move to earn. The more you move, the more you earn. So it encourages all of us, when you keep on bicycling and bicycling, you earn points, and the points that you generate, eventually, right, you can exchange that for cryptocurrency like Ethereum. And those, of course, as you know, when you exchange those points to a crypto or cryptocurrency, you can now exchange that to what you call fiat or physical money, right? Again, very interesting space, move to earn. In fact, you can Google move to earn or play to earn. So like later on, I'll show you a play to earn game. The more you play, the more you earn, right? That's why people are saying, why do you need a degree anymore? Why do you need a graduate school degree when you can play games and earn money? Or here, you can, if you're very, very fit, you just keep on bicycling the entire day and you earn cryptocurrency. You earn already just by being active. So a lot of the organizations, companies today are going into this new segment, move to earn, right? Or play for those who are in the lifestyle or activity, physical activity category, or play to earn, meaning the more you play with a game, the more you are able to earn. One of the most popular example is Axie Infinity. I don't know if you're familiar with Axie, but Axie has taken the Philippines by storm. So for the past 2 years during the pandemic, almost 3 million, 4 million active Filipinos have been going into Axie every day. They have quit their full-time job, and they are earning a lot of cryptocurrency that they exchange for money after. What does Axie do? You buy 3 Axies using your digital wallets, and you play. You level up it's like a Tamagotchi or a Pokemon, right? If you're familiar with a Pokemon. You buy an Axie, you buy 3 Axies, and then once it goes up a certain level, you fight with one another, and you earn what is called SLP, Smooth Love Potion. The SLP is the currency, and the SLP, you can actually give it to, you can actually sell it, and it becomes real money. Okay? So I'll just share with you a quick video on Axies.
Axie Infinity is a digital pet community where players can sell their in-game characters for real money using the Ethereum blockchain. Players can breed their Axies to discover exciting new combinations. Axies start off as eggs and require love and attention from their owners to grow up. Take care of your Axies and earn experience points by completing daily activities. Use experience points to level up your Axies and unlock new abilities which can be used in battle. You can even trade your Axies for cryptocurrency on our marketplace. Find out more on axieinfinity.com. Available now.
So for the past 2 years,
Find out more on axieinfinity.com.
during the pandemic craze here, well, during the pandemic, there's an Axie craze that's happening in the Philippines. People are breeding, so it's like a Pokemon or I don't know if you're familiar with the Tamagotchi before. They were breeding digital creatures, digital Axies. They were buying, breeding the eggs, and now selling it after. So remember in the last here, in this one Axie was so powerful, no? They were able to breed and made it so powerful that they were able to sell it for $200,000. Again, very expensive, right? Because they want to level up very quickly. So some people do not have the patience to do the game. So what they would do is that they would just have either buy it outright or have someone play for them. I've seen a lot of companies. I don't know if you're familiar with YGG, right? So yield games, no? So there are some companies who run like what you call a BPO. They would hire 100 people. 100 people, all of them playing Axies. Okay, all of them would be playing Axies day in and day out. And then after that, whatever they earn, they just split the revenue. Okay? So all of them would be playing Axies with one another. They would be creating and earning. And now the what you call the SLP, Muslim Pokemon, after that they would be selling that. Okay.
Bayar sa bayar.
Okay, so today, the Axies.
Okay.
There. Thank you. So right now, the SLP, however, because of so many people going in, they were not able to sustain themselves. And what happened was that the Smooth Lab Potion dropped in terms of value. So a lot of people lost a lot of money in having Axies, especially those who were the latecomers. When they came in, before, the value of a Smooth Lab Potion was around, I think, 50 cents. Yeah, around 50 cents, US dollar cents. Now it's now just 1% of that, almost no value at all. Because so many people played the game and it's not sustainable. It's like a what we call a Ponzi scheme, right? And that's why Axie, while it generated a lot of businesses and some people were able to earn from it, those who came in late were not able to earn because the value, the price of the Smooth Lab Potion of the cryptocurrency dropped tremendously. So that was a good learning for the industry. But before, you will see a lot of our security guards, a lot of even those who drive the jeepneys or public transport would just rather than go and drive around, they would just play, right? They would just be playing. So this is very popular here in the Philippines, and of course, eventually lost.
Axie.
Okay. Now, I've shared with you already the opportunities, governments. I've shared with you how physical activity, right? What you can do. I've shared with you, for example, how an entertainer can create their literal second life or a digital portion of themselves or a digital part of themselves into the metaverse, right? And we will see more and more of that, no? But what we cannot, what we can deny is the biggest shift was actually Mark Zuckerberg. He was the one who said, okay, transform Facebook, even the name itself, to now Meta, right? To now Meta. And everything will now go into the metaverse. We will now start creating virtual reality eyeglasses. We will put a lot of investments into virtual reality. So he knows for a fact that Facebook by itself is not sustainable. Around the world, TikTok has become a very strong contender in the advertising space, in the YouTube space, well, in the user-generated space. So people, instead of going to Facebook, they're now decreasing their time on Facebook. And especially in the Philippines, for example, TikTok has just gotten very, very popular. So Mark Zuckerberg, the genius that he is, shifted to the metaverse. I will share with you maybe just a bit of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because I also like how he explained the metaverse. And some of you, if you went to Facebook Connect in 2021, it was a very good explanation, right, of how he saw the future, right, where everything will again be on the metaverse. Okay.
Hey, and welcome to Connect. Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse. I want to share what we imagine is possible, the experiences you'll have, the creative economy we'll all build, and the technology that needs to be invented, as well as how we're going to all do this together. The basic story of technology in our lifetimes is how it's given us the power to express ourselves and experience the world with ever greater richness. Back when I started Facebook, that mostly meant text that we typed on computers. Then we all got phones with cameras, and the internet became much more visual. And recently, as connections got faster, video has become the main way that we experience content. We've gone from desktop to web to phones, from text to photos to video, but this isn't the end of the line. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And we call this the metaverse. And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine. Get together with friends and family, work, learn, play, shop, create, as well as entirely new categories that don't really fit how we think about computers or phones today. Now, since we're doing this remotely today, I figured let's make this special. So we've put together something that I think is really going to give you a feeling for what this future could be like. We believe the metaverse will be the successor to the mobile internet. We'll be able to feel present, like we're right there with people, no matter how far apart we actually are. We'll be able to express ourselves in new, joyful, completely immersive ways, and that's going to unlock a lot of amazing new experiences. When I send my parents a video of my kids, they're going to feel like they're right in the moment with us, not peering through a little window. When you play a game with your friends, you'll feel like you're right there together in a different world, not just on your computer by yourself. And when you're in a meeting in the metaverse, it'll feel like you're right in the room together, making eye contact, having a shared sense of space, and not just looking at a grid of faces on a screen. That's what we mean by an embodied internet. Instead of looking at a screen, you're going to be in these experiences. Everything we do online today, connecting socially, entertainment, games, work, is going to be more natural and vivid. This isn't about spending more time on screens. It's about making the time that we already spend better. Screens just can't convey the full range of human expression and connection. They can't deliver that deep feeling of presence. But the next version of the internet can. That's what we should be working towards. Technology that's built around people and how we actually experience the world and interact with each other. That's what the metaverse is all about. Now, the best way to understand the metaverse is to experience it yourself, but it's a little tough because it doesn't fully exist yet. Some of the basic building blocks are here though, and others are starting to emerge as we speak. We're starting to get a sense of how it could all come together and what it could feel like. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than just focusing on this year's products like a normal keynote, we're going to talk about the future. So let's start by exploring what different kinds of metaverse experiences could feel like, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually, it has things that are only possible virtually, and it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. All right, perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark.
What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa.
I knew you were bluffing.
Hey, wait.
So you can Google Mark Zuckerberg Facebook Connect 2021. But what you saw here, right, was that Mark Zuckerberg saying in the internet before, right, we were just leaning backwards, we just type. Now with social media, with our phones, we lean forward a bit. But with the metaverse, we are fully immersed in it. We are now inside, right? So closer and closer, right? Closer to the point that he's saying screens, right? The screen is still there now with the metaverse, no more screen, right? You are now fully immersed and inside it. Okay? So having said that, let me just share with you, if you look at what are the metaverse initiatives implemented to date by industry, you will see that most of them, right? Of course, the highest would be consumer, apparel, fashion and luxury and retail are the highest users, and they're mostly marketing campaign and objectives. If you look at, for example, here 85, very high, energy and materials. Energy and materials would mean that those who are in the energy sector, they're using it for learning and development, because you cannot go to how can you teach energy, right? So they usually do a virtual reality setup, right? And that's how they teach their employees or how they teach their stakeholders. Okay? So marketing is one of of course, the first entry point, because it is very consumer centric. It's very targeted towards an already existing audience. And let me share with you, what are some of the examples. I'll show a lot of use cases. I'll fast forward this also just for you to appreciate. But this is, for example, what Gucci did. So Gucci, as a luxury brand, instead of putting their budgets into any level of marketing, they placed it inside Roblox for you to appreciate their products. And eventually, of course, they also sell their products inside Roblox. So I don't know if you're familiar with Roblox, but if you're not, then now is the time you'll see how Roblox looks. Though. This is Gucci Garden. This again, we can check out a lot of things on Roblox. Gucci Garden. Okay. Another would be Coke. Coke, when instead of launching, instead of launching just a campaign, a marketing campaign, what they did was they launched an NFT, a non-fungible token. These tokens, these are collectibles, and only you would have it. They actually auctioned it. No, and so people were auctioning it, and they had people collect, and they went for a very high amount. No?
Excuse me, 5 minutes more, sir.
Happening inside, no, horse racing. If you like betting, there's already a horse betting on the metaverse. And if you cannot afford a horse, you can actually buy a horse here. But of course, the horse here is more expensive. But this is done by a group called Z Community. You can actually even breed your own horse. So I'll just go through this very quickly, but for you to appreciate.
This is the future of horse racing. You're looking at Zed Run, a new crypto horse racing game where you can own, breed, and race digital NFT horses for real money. Proven horses sell for the price of a luxury car, and a good stable can generate thousands of dollars a week in profits. You can't do anything like this with your NBA Top Shots. But don't be fooled into thinking Zed Run is an easy way to make a quick buck. The game is an incredibly complex metaverse ecosystem. First, you have to get a horse. If you're lucky, you can get one of the original 38,000 Genesis horses that are being minted and released in small drops. If not, you have to buy a bred horse on the secondary market. When choosing a horse, there are 4 different bloodlines to
So what happens? You buy a horse here, and every time your horse wins, you earn something. Literally, you earn something. And the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoins or Ethereum that you earn here with this horse, so you buy a horse, a few $1,000s or some hundreds of thousands of dollars. But every time they win, you earn something, and then later on you can exchange it for money. But that's why the value of these horses go up immediately, right? So again, this is a digital.
This journey.
And then later on, you realize, Stella Artois would be putting their brands now. So Stella Artois would have their brands on these racehorses, and most of the brands would now start to look at, especially the alcoholic beverages, where they have limited venues, especially in some advertising platforms, have found it very interesting to increase their brand equity and their value by putting in, for example, here, they invested a lot in creating Stella Artois racehorses. Louis Vuitton, if you're familiar with Louis Vuitton, has created Louis the game. I won't play this, but you can see their game already existing in the metaverse, creating their own metaverse. Lamborghini has also have their own Lamborghini non-fungible token. So it's something, a non-fungible token, something that's unique, and it's unique. And if you have this, only you in the world would have it. At the same time, Nike, instead of buying agencies, they're now buying NFT or digital gaming agencies, where they are now launching various products in the metaverse. So note that as an extended, not only marketing, but also as a business model, they're creating Nike shoes inside the metaverse and selling it also. Remember Gucci earlier? They're also selling in Robux, and they're earning from it already. Looking at what? 55 million people going inside Roblox every day. Okay? So as I wrap up, marketing in the metaverse, again, it's very early stages of this marketing and technology convergence, and it will become a very strong marketing platform the next 3 years. Traction will be innate for digital natives, especially for the younger audiences. 10-year-olds, they already know how to do it, creating a wallet, going into the metaverse, feeling very comfortable with it. But again, I'm speaking for the marketing industry here. The eyeballs are still far from traditional mass media eyeballs. So it's really a test and learn, and for people to just experiment rather than, okay, put your money there. I won't even tell you that, okay? So there is no FOMO, like no fear of missing out, but there's no excuse for all of us to take the time to understand this more complex opportunity, because like what Mark Zuckerberg said, like what Matthew Ball said, it's a new reality, and it's going to happen sooner than later. And as we look at the Web 3.0 and the new marketing world, again, before it was read-only website. After that, it's participatory, Web 2.0. And then finally, it's no intermediate, Web 3.0. For us, that's why, for me personally, I'm actually convening the Philippine Blockchain Week in the Philippines. I know Indonesia has your own blockchain week already, right? And we're actually getting a lot of the conveners around the world convening. We have a 1-week event. No, allow me to have the shameless plug. No, but we are getting hundreds of speakers coming in to discuss this. So it's anchored on the blockchain. So let me end before I just wrap up with a 1-minute video, just to again end with the new metaverse. No, just give you a good feel of the. So with that, thank you for your attention. I hope you'll get a better understanding. I know it's a lot of things happening at the same time, but what is important for me is that you are looking at and you're aware that this reality is going to happen sooner than later, and you have to read up, you have to start researching on it and see how it will apply to your day-to-day business life. So with that, thank you very much, and now I'll open the floor for questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Lin. It's a nice and great presentation for today. So, dear everyone, who have questions, maybe in the chat box we have already a question, Dr. Lin.
Yeah, I'll take on the first question by Yogi. Okay.
Okay.
So, are they going? I know you're saying that are there going to be a single player on this multiverse platform race? Most likely, everyone is going. Same with Facebook and all the other social media platform. There will be a race towards what will be the eventual platform, but you will see a lot of us going towards multiple platforms first. Decentraland, Sandbox, currently there are a lot of popular ones where you can go in and out at the same time, but there's still no one single big one, right, that will rule them all. Not yet, right? So it's like going to a website or going to app. It's going to be still very like what you said in Ready Player One, there's one already. Today there's not yet. No, so we will see. Like everyone is now into Facebook, but now everyone's leaving Facebook. So we will see what will happen in the metaverse. Not yet a single player. Okay. So I hope I answered your question. Second, I'll answer the question of APEP Wahyudin. How do you think about privacy policy? Yes, a lot of privacy. Well, more and more. But the difference with the metaverse is anchored on the blockchain. So hopefully it's more secure, right? It's more secure. Before, our data is on the server. People can access, and when you talk about cybersecurity, people can hack into that server. On the blockchain, on the technology, right? Your data is anchored on the blockchain. So whatever is there is there. Of course, people can still access it if they're really smart. But at the same time, however, it's immutable, meaning it cannot be changed. Right? So before, when you hack into a server, you can change the personal information. In the blockchain, you cannot change anything.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot change. You cannot replace it. Right? It's going to affect the entire chain. So just to answer your question, the privacy policy, you have to set it as a marketing person. You have to lay it out. From the tech perspective, it is tighter. It is stronger from a security perspective. Okay. Next question is from Pingadi. No? In a situation of current cryptocurrency breakdown, are there any advantages collecting NFT? Yes, so a lot of the 3D and 2D, a lot of the NFTs. So for example, it's an artwork. For example, I'm a very popular celebrity. I made a drawing, and I put it on as an NFT. People bid for it, like $1 million, whatever. Right. So we've done that already here in the Philippines. One of our very popular celebrity made a painting. She placed it on digital, right, via a computer. But what is of value to it also was the 2D one, which means the real one is also being auctioned off. So you can usually do a 3D, 2D execution of an NFT so that the value would go up. But I tell you, do not invest too much in NFTs because it's still too early. Now you know it's crypto winter, right? So a lot of people who have invested in cryptocurrency lost a lot of money, and it will take time before it comes back. Okay, so don't put too much money into cryptocurrency, especially in Indonesia. I think you're very strict there, right? In Indonesia and Malaysia, I think there are rules that you have to follow. Okay. Following up on Pingadi, in a situation of current cryptocurrency breakdown, are there advantages? Yeah. So that's a 2D, 3D. Got it. Okay. So I hope I answered all the questions in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. And then the all participants, you can ask to Dr. Lim. Yes. Is there any question from all participants? We still have much time here. Okay. For all the participants, you can directly ask to Dr. Lim.
Yes.
Silakan.
Sure.
Okay.
Sir, I'm from Beda University, graduating MBA student. Sir, I have a question, sir. Because I want to share my experience because I'm a gamer. I like games when I was in the college. Like during the class in the college that sometimes I'm an irregular student. I have a free time that I have to play computer games, first person online shooting games like Crossfire Special Force. So in the computer setup. So I have to spend more than 5,000 or 10,000 pesos in a specific item. So the goal of the metaverse is to, let's say I have a goggle or device. I have to touch it. So the weapon or the VIP items, customized items that I'm going to use in a game. So I have the opportunity to touch it and to experience it on my own. Is it the goal of the metaverse already?
Yeah, of course, it's again, the metaverse is immersive. The difference also of the metaverse is that when you leave the game is still going on. So what you're playing like a first-person shooter game, that's not technically that's not a metaverse. That's still just a game, right? It's what you call a closed. It's still closed because you have to keep on playing and shooting, right? But later on, for example, Fortnite has another area where you can play, but at the same time you have a life inside. And also, it's not only just that, not being immersive. At the same time, your weapons, if you create a very unique weapon, you can actually sell it to another person. Right?
That's good.
There's a trading component that is anchored on the cryptocurrency. That's why the metaverse also has a currency inside.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So it's really a world on its own. No? So it's not just you kill each other, you win, that's it. It's not that. It's an alternate reality where you are really existing on a digital, what you call your digital twin. Right? In fact, those who are legal here might and the cyber security people here, what if I create, for example, what if I create on metaverse someone who is Dudi Kusuma?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? Can I take your identity and now I kill everyone in the metaverse?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right? I can remember in Facebook, I can create your Facebook page without asking your permission. I'll just lift your photo now and says I'm you. I'm Mr. Dudi.
It's so scary.
Yeah. And now in the metaverse, I can now create another Dudi.
Oh my God.
And now impersonate you. Right? There are no laws yet on that. That is why it's very important in the metaverse to align, right? And that's why the governments later on will be forced. Here in the Philippines, we're talking about our Department of Technology, our department having to have some form of regulation. Because there's no regulation Facebook, right? A person can have 3 accounts.
Yeah.
Right? You can have 3 mobile phones, 3 numbers. So later on, the governments have to keep up. What is Korea doing is now linking the cell phone, the wallet, like in China. The person, the cell phone number, the wallet, the bank, everything is linked. Actually, when they create their metaverse, it will be very secure because now all of those data is now connected to the metaverse account. So now I cannot create a Dudi because I have to have all the information there. Currently, that's not happening yet, right? Currently, that's happening, for example, with Facebook. I will just use my Facebook account, but I can fake a Facebook account. So now that it's integrated, I can say, I'm Dudi, this is a Facebook account. I can now go to the metaverse and look like you.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, so the last one question all participants. This is the last one question, please. Okay, we still have a question. One question, the last one, last question. From Beda University or from Langlangbuana University, please. Please welcome. Silakan dari Langlangbuana University, mungkin ada pertanyaan dari mahasiswa. Oh, Apep Wahyudin. Yeah.
Go ahead, Apep.
Okay, thank you very much for your opportunity. It's such a good honor to talk with you. You are a great person. I have a question here. What do you think about how long we will get to the real metaverse, which the metaverse is still in developing, I think, currently. But how long you think this metaverse will take over the whole internet? Thank you.
If you look at, I don't know, in Indonesia, are you Facebook? Are you, most of you are on Facebook?
No.
Is Facebook, or what social media are you using?
I'm using Twitter.
Twitter, okay, your Twitter. If you look at the adoption of social media, whether it is Facebook, at that time, Friendster, MySpace, Social, Multiply, right now it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and all of that. It took them 7 years to adopt and become mainstream. 7 years. The metaverse is already on its 3rd year or its 4th year. In fact, you're talking about just because Meta, or if you want year 1 to be 2021, that's what Mark Zuckerberg said, Meta 2021, right? Then you're talking about, but you have to apply Moore's law, which means the doubling. So I'm saying that in 2024 and 2025, you will see the next generation, maybe not us who are older, but the next generation will now be fully the metaverse. In the Philippine Blockchain Week that I'm organizing, I have so many people present to me technologies like your eyeglasses, like what I said earlier. When you wear it, automatically in the metaverse. It's not future, it's today that's happening. So once that has become very cheap, right, all of us would find it very easy. Everyone will start going and investing. That's why for me, that's why again, I'm very passionate about it, because for graduate students, if you have a master's or a doctorate, you have to, I'm not an expert. I only learned metaverse this year, right? I'm trying to learn as much as I can because I know all my clients, my boss, my colleagues will be asking me that. So it's also good for all of you to start researching and see how it will apply to your business. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lim, but time is already close to the end of our program for today. And then we proceed to awarding of the Certificate of Appreciation. Panca bisa ditampilkan untuk sertifikat appreciation untuk Dr. Lim. So this is a certificate of appreciation for Dr. Lim as a speaker for today in our public lecture. Thank you very much, Dr. Donald Lim from Beda University as a speaker for today. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And then now we come to last session, maybe the closing remarks from Dr. Christine. Would you welcome? Please welcome Dr. Christine.
Sorry. Okay, thank you very much. So it was amazing. We are at the end of the event, the public lecture from Dr. Donald Lim from Beda University, and his presentation was full of information, new information, which are very useful for all of us, I think. I think all of us, students and lecturers, will increase our knowledge through the presentation of Dr. Donald Lim. What is the metaverse? What is the multiverse? And everything about new things he told us. I'm sure that your audience feels satisfied after hearing your lecture. So you leave a lasting impression on them. Thank you very much. And maybe in the future, you will give us the other public lecture. Thank you, Dr. Donald Lim.
Yeah, dear everyone, thank you very much for Dr. Lim and then also Dr. Edralin, Dr. Christine, and all participants for today. This is the end of our session of public lecture. Thank you very much once again for all participants and also the speakers.
Okay. So,
See you in the
Panca, tolong take picture. Panca. Panca.
Sudah, Prof, sudah.
Sudah?
Sudah, Prof.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Prof.
Goodbye, Dr. Edgerlin. Goodbye. Are you?
Yeah, goodbye. See you next
Okay.
week.
See you
Yes,
next week,
next
Dr.
week we
Edgerlin.
have the other
Thank
public
you.
lecture.
Send
Okay,
me
thank
again
you
the
very much.
Thank
Okay.
you, Prof. See you next week, Prof.
Thank you,
Okay,
Prof.
bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Weekend.
Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Nice weekend, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Please.
Thank you, Prof. And see you.
Yes, okay.
See you guys.
Hatur, thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Atur nuhun, Prof.